City News at noon. We are tracking the path of Hurricane Ian as South Florida prepares for a direct hit. Right now, 8 counties in Florida are under mandatory evacuation orders. Let's go ahead and give you a live look at conditions in Tampa. This is scary. You can see that bridge there just shaking in the wind, the droplets on the camera and those waves underneath it. Definitely a scary situation there. And here is a live look at Naples, where forecasters say the region is at the highest risk of surge that could reach 18 feet. That is not the place you want to be, and people have again been asked to evacuate. So let's go ahead and bring in meteorologist Andrew Brightman. He has the latest on this storm's track. And Andrew, we do know that the storm, a Category 4 right now, but just barely below that Category 5 mark.
Yeah, and actually some of the hurricane hunters were finding Category 5 winds within Ian. But really, again, there's not a huge difference between 155 and 157 miles an hour. And the eyewall, it's making its way onshore as we speak. In fact, I was just looking at some of the obs here coming out from the National Weather Service in Tampa Bay, where our own Ann Wyatt is. They just saw a wind gust of 68 miles an hour. They're only about 14 miles or so from the eyewall that's making its way onshore. Again, current sustained winds 155 miles an hour after it went through that eyewall replacement cycle last night. We saw the pressure drop about 15 or so millibars. The winds definitely went up significantly. You can see all of the hurricane warnings up. The yellow actually highlighting a tornado watch, because that's always a concern on the eastern or right side of these storm circulations. Also, you can see the highlighted in orange right around the Fort Myers, and especially as you head towards Port Charlotte and Cape Coral, they have an extreme wind warning out as that eyewall is making its way onshore. So here's what we're watching with everything with Ian. We're going to see a landfall today. The rain for the Carolinas, that arrives on Friday. We're going to see some heavy rainfall. Some flooding is going to be a threat for our neck of the woods as we head through your weekend forecast. Could see some gusty winds, maybe to 40 miles an hour, and perhaps an isolated tornado threat, but looking more and more likely that's going to be concentrated as you head down towards the coast. Here's current satellite and radar. You can just see almost an apex looking hurricane, that eyewall making its way onshore right now. You can see that eyewall currently right over Sanibel as you head up towards Port Charlotte and Cape Coral. It's making its way onshore. And that eyewall, again, where our own Ann Wyatt is, about 15 or so miles away. And they're going to start seeing the most intense winds move towards them as we head about through the next 30 minutes to an hour or so. Back here in Uptown, our weather's looking good for now. We're starting to see the high clouds actually part of Ian, more than 600 miles away. Currently, temperatures, they're comfortable. I will say a little bit on the cool side. Nothing to worry about through the rest of the day today. But coming up with my pinpoint weather forecast, I'll be talking more about what can we expect with the impacts from Ian for us coming up.
Andrew, thank you. News you just heard Andrew mention Hurricane Ian right on Florida's doorstep, pretty much right on the coast, with wind and rain lashing a highly populated corner of the state. Other parts of the state are already feeling Ian's wrath, with 45,000 people in South Florida without power right now. Let's go ahead and bring in Queen City News anchor Ann Wyatt Little, who's live in Fort Myers covering this storm for us. And Wyatt, before the show started here, you were saying that wind is really starting to pick up.
Yeah, Annie, what Andrew was showing you on radar, we are feeling right now. Just within the last few minutes, conditions really started to deteriorate. We're in a very safe parking garage right now, but some of these rain bands are just blowing through. You can see the trees moving back and forth, the palm trees here, and this rain just come in and hits you like a sheet here. But taking a look out over the parking deck, visibility has dropped drastically in the last few minutes. We've started to see some of the power lines, the traffic lights, even some of the road signs shake. I will tell you the lights are still operational, indicating we have power. The lights are on in the parking garage, so that's of course a good sign, although most people here in the Fort Myers area are prepared to lose power. That's certainly something that authorities are stressing. That Florida Governor Ron DeSantis this morning said treat this storm as if it was a tornado coming in. That's how strong these winds are today. Of course, 3 different zones of residents have been evacuated to shelters. Of course, those closest to the beach, inland, and then that evacuation zone moves further in. And just to give you an idea of the scope of this storm, the hurricane warning covers 220 miles. The impacts will be devastating to this part of the state where a lot of people we've heard from evacuated further south, thinking that the storm was going to hit a little bit further north. I've heard from several people in the Charlotte area that have family and loved ones down here. So, Annie, there's a lot of anxiety really across the southeast and across the country as you watch just this storm inch closer to the coast, and we're certainly starting to feel those impacts and will in the coming hours and really into tomorrow. We're going on about 18 hours of rain here, and it's not going to end, or it's not going to let up anytime soon. Annie?
Right, and meteorologist Andrew Reitman saying that, you know, Hurricane Ian's right on the doorstep of the coast there, so anxiety being high, very understandable. That's our Ann Wyatt Little in Fort Myers, Florida for us. Thank you guys, and of course, stay safe.